Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer. It is 6:07 on the Get Up and Go Show.
I'll smack you.
Excuse me, what did you say?
I'll smack you.
I don't know why you would smack me. I'm being a good boy today.
I am physically here, so that's something.
I'm glad you're physically here.
This does not strike me as a sexy romantic time, but okay.
Okay, it's not a sexy romantic time either.
I'll smack you.
Don't smack me, okay? Just smack the announcer. That's all you got to do.
You never
Morning,
know.
Bonnie.
Good morning. You never know. Maybe he wants to smack you with a nice kiss.
Oh, I don't know. Anything's possible.
With a lip smacker.
Yeah, without a doubt. Definitely. And not that, though. That's for sure. We don't want that early in the morning. How you doing, Bonnie?
I'm doing wide awake this morning because I was in bed by 7:30, 8 o'clock last night.
Are you feeling okay?
Which was really early for me. And, I just told Gary that I want to catch up on some rest.
Really?
And so, yeah, I got amazing sleep.
Oh, okay.
So just don't mind me if I'm a little hyper, just on the hyper note this morning.
Your hair's looking pretty full this morning.
That's because
Normally
I washed
than
it.
usual.
I washed it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my noggin.
All right. How's your noggin doing today?
It's better. I had a
Good.
headache last week after I had hit my head on a mouse or two in the studio.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my noggin. So, when your wife called, she's like, how's your head? Rachel was right. My head was feeling a little bit sore the next day.
Okay.
So I don't think I'm going to be, doing anything like that, like smashing my head again.
Well, don't do that because then somebody may say, there you go. Right?
Who knows? Somebody might be saying that this morning in their bathroom after a night out of partying. I don't know. It's only Tuesday, though.
If they're in their bathroom after a night out of partying, this may happen. Anything's possible.
That could happen.
Yeah.
And when that does happen, I don't want to be inside that bathroom.
No, that's Explosion City. That's all I got to say. Oh, man. It's what is today? Today's Tuesday. Okay, Terrific Tuesday is what we call it. So anything goes. You can call us anytime, 772-220-9788. If you're up at this godforsaken time of the morning and you are listening to the program, we would love to hear a good morning from you. So give us a call. If you're driving down the street, if you're even sitting in the toilet, doing your business, give a call. We want to hear from you. We don't care where you are.
I have a few random facts for Tuesday that maybe you and the listeners would find quite interesting.
All right, go ahead. Give me your random facts, Bonnie.
Random facts for Tuesday. Red delicious apples are the most common crop of apples in the U.S., but they've become extremely unpopular because they're bred for looking good over tasting good.
Oh.
So when you bite into that red apple, it looks the best, but might not be tasting the best.
All right. How about them apples? Right?
Did you know that women blink more than men? Women blink an average of 19 times per minute, and men blink 11 times per minute.
You know why that is? Because women love to bat their eyes at guys.
Oh!
That's why.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
You find the ladies
Women flirt with guys all the time. It's very normal. And when they do, they blink their eyes a lot more.
Oh!
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm finding more of the young gals, like a lot of young gals that I work with are getting the falsies, the magnet eyelashes. And I would like to try that, but my eyes get easily irritated. I wear contact lenses and they get on the dry side. So I don't know if I could wear falsies.
Well, just put some water in your eyes. Then they won't be dry anymore.
Did you know that Shakey's Pizza, have you ever heard of Shakey's before?
I've heard of Domino's and Papa John's, but not Shakey's or Big Apple.
Shakey's, that might be
Where's Shakey's at?
I think there's one up in Wisconsin. It might be a Midwest thing.
Maybe we'll look them up and give them a call this morning. See if they're open. We can order a large pizza. See if we can get it delivered here to Florida.
And a nice huge
that's
truck.
an idea. Why don't we call a pizza place this morning that's open this early out of state and see if we can get them to ship us a pizza?
How expensive do you think that would be?
No, I'll foot the bill. I'm not worried about it.
You're not?
Just the fact that I'd love to get it shipped here to see what condition it's in.
I would like to see how much they charge because I've always wanted to order some pasties from Ironwood, Michigan.
Pasties?
Yeah, it's kind of
Never
equivalent.
heard of pasties.
It's kind of equivalent to, it's kind of like a meat and potato pie. It's
Oh.
rolled in a pie crust, and they're
Okay.
rather large. They're,
Okay.
like almost like the size of Nerf footballs,
Okay.
if you could picture. But it includes potatoes, meat. You can
Okay.
put onions in it too. And
Making me hungry.
the coal miners and the iron ore miners would take the pasties cold down in the mines. And it's kind of like it's kind of a heritage thing up in the UP of Upper Michigan and northern Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. We have to say good morning to Mark Hales. He just popped in our Facebook page, says good morning from Southeast London, where it's 58 degrees Fahrenheit, 14 degrees Celsius, 10% chance of rain. Random fact of where he lives says that Sidcup in Kent, Southeast England, the name is thought to be derived from Sidcup, meaning seat-shaped or flat-top hill. Very interesting fact.
Seat shape or flat topped hill
Yes.
where he lives. That's
Yes.
the geography of his climate.
Yeah, seat-shaped. Now, I'm curious about seat-shaped. Very interesting fact there. Very interesting fact.
What
We
shaped?
talking toilet seat or just regular seat?
Seat shaped.
Seat-shaped.
Mhm.
SEATSHAPED. Say that 10 times, Bonnie. Seat-shaped. Go ahead.
Seat shaped. Seat shaped. Seat shaped. Seat shaped. Seat shaped. Seat shaped.
Be careful how you say it, because
Okay.
you might say something pertaining to Schitt's Creek.
Okay, now back to Shakey's Pizza, though.
All right, go ahead.
So Shakey's Pizza was founded by a guy named Sherwood Johnson. His nickname was Shaky because he got malaria during World War II, which
Mhm.
left him with nerve damage
Oh.
that made him shake.
Yikes.
But he created Shakey's Pizza. Yes. And one more interesting fact.
Sure, please.
Since we're on geography and with Mr. Hales, Michigan, no point in Michigan is more than 85 miles from Great Lake.
So, in other words, anywhere in Michigan you're 85 miles or less near a Great Lake.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that a
Okay.
fun fact? And yeah, you have
Wow.
Lake Michigan running up the east coast of Lake Michigan.
Isn't there
of-
Lake
of
Ontario
Michigan.
or something like that?
Ontario is more Canada. But you have Lake Superior,
Oh,
that's
okay.
northern Michigan, and what would be the whole Upper
I
Peninsula.
failed geography in school. Sorry.
Oh,
I didn't do well.
that's okay.
Sorry.
But then,
I did not do well in geography.
but you know what? Maybe you've never been to Michigan, so I can't
I
really.
have.
You have. What part? Where did you go?
I don't know. It was just I traveled through it because I was traveling. So if I landed in Michigan, that means that I've been to Michigan.
Oh, I see. You've probably been to like the Detroit airport and that.
Yeah, there you
and
go. Yeah, flew through.
We flew into Detroit one time, and at the time we had to stay. We were about to land, okay,
Mhm.
but our airplane couldn't land on time. We had to stay like a half hour in the air, just circling the airport.
Oh.
Because Al Gore was flying in.
Okay.
And he took president, and they had to fly him in first.
Okay. All right. Well, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Did they play the song "Will It Go Round in Circles" by Billy Preston as you guys were flying around in the air, or what?
No, but that would have made it more fun.
Right.
I think if I were the pilot, I would I would provide that fun for the folks on the airline.
You know what they say: "What goes up must come down."
Oh!
That was Billy Preston, right?
Yes.
One hit wonder.
No, he had quite a few hits. Yeah. Will
Ooh.
It Go Round in Circles? See, if Phil was with us, he would have his book, Billboard book.
I know, right?
He's the walking book of knowledge when it pertains to music.
Yeah, he is. Let me look up some Billy Preston songs.
Look up Billy Preston songs.
The
see what
only
you
one
get.
I know is "Will It Go Round," but I could be wrong. Oh, nothing from nothing means nothing. You got to have something
Mhm.
if you want to be with me.
Right.
Of course, I remember that one.
Right. Remember the song "You Make Me Feel Like Dancing"? Do you remember the artist?
Leo Sayer,
Very
right?
good. Right.
I
How about "When I'm With You"? Remember that song?
When I'm with you,
Right.
that was Leo Sayer.
There you go.
Too.
So I was giving you a double hit Tuesday there. 2 for Tuesday. That's why I gave you 2 Leo Sayer songs in a row.
There was a guy on my table that
Oh,
looked
what, excuse me?
when I was
The guy on your table?
Yeah, when I massaged a gentleman,
Okay.
he looked a lot like Leif Garrett.
Oh, wow.
And all I could think of was through the entire massage was I was made,
for dancing. Yeah.
all night
Yeah.
long.
Leif Garrett had that blonde hair.
Yeah.
He was the teen heartthrob back in the, I want to say, late 70s, early 80s era.
He was pretty too.
Well, form your own opinion.
No,
Sorry.
I think, I mean, I was watching some old footage of him.
Yeah, look at him
and,
now. He looks like a strung out, methed out adult.
Yeah,
Have you seen his picture lately?
Not lately.
Well, go Google his name and look.
Okay.
Seriously, looks like he's on meth.
I've seen him on that show.
Then again, what does a person look like that's on meth? I mean, I shouldn't say that.
I've seen him on that show for people that have been struggling, with
Mhm.
things, and they kind of went on the wayside because
Aaron
of things
Carter's
they
another
did.
example.
Yeah, Leif
Yeah.
Garrett was on the show with Tanya Harding. I
Mhm.
think
Oh, that's that.
Todd
like,
Bridges was
yeah,
on
that's
there.
that whole TMZ show they do.
They kind of make fun of people. Oh, what people do very stupid when they're drunk,
Yeah,
and
it's
you
kind
see
of like our
people
stupid news.
falling over tables.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So you have them kind of chiming in.
Maybe I'll
and
look into
giving their
getting Leif
thoughts.
Garrett on the program. We can interview Leif Garrett.
That would be
Maybe
fun.
have him do karaoke with us for "I Was Made for Dancing." God only knows what that would sound like. Well, I actually have you and him do a duet of "Islands in the Stream" by Kenny and Dolly.
That would be fun.
Speaking of Dolly Parton, did you hear she's going to be posing in Playboy? Possibly.
I did not.
For her 75th birthday. Yes, the news came out. She is contemplating on posing butt naked in Playboy magazine.
Oh, all of the
Yeah, I'll buy that edition.
all of the gents who loved Dolly Parton throughout the years will be delighted in that.
Well, you know that she did pose once before in Playboy. She was on the cover
I did not
many
know
years
that.
ago. Yes. If
Oh.
you go ahead and Google Dolly Parton
Okay.
Playboy magazine, and you'll see her picture on the cover. She was in Playboy, and now she's contemplating for her 75th birthday. If it's done tastefully, she will bear down to nothing but 9 to 5, literally. And she will do it to it right there in Playboy if it's done tastefully.
Oh yeah, there she is.
See?
They're right on the cover. She's sporting kind of like the Marilyn Monroe sort of hairstyle with her
Yep.
with her shorter hair.
There she is. That's right.
Yep.
Yep, they had to. That was a lot of issues getting her on the cover because her a lot of her chestage area took up a lot of the cover, so they had to kind of re-image everything to adjust the size
Did they really?
to make everything fit, so to speak.
You mean her bust line was so big that they
Yeah.
couldn't even fit the rest of Dolly into the photo?
Right? It was just the chest, but they made it fit.
Actually, these pictures, the picture of her on the cover I find it quite tasteful.
It's very tasteful.
Yeah, it's very busty,
classy.
robusty, which you're going to have with
Robust.
Dolly.
I like that word. It's robust.
Oh!
But
Yeah.
it's kind of a classy kind of picture. I
She's
mean,
not busting out.
Oh!
I love me Dolly though. I just loved it. I think she's the, if I'm not mistaken, the godparent of Miley Cyrus.
That I couldn't answer.
Miley Cyrus's godmother. Yes,
Okay.
and I know she did like a lot. She's from that area, Pigeon Forge in Tennessee, right before you
Right.
go up into the Smoky Mountains,
Mhm.
and they have Dollywood over there. And I know that when they went through those horrible fires over in that area in Tennessee, I believe she forked out a lot of money to help get the area straight again and helping people out over that way. So she's quite a good woman. I don't know, and she's been married for many years.
Oh,
I wonder what her long time husband is going to say when he finds out she wants to pose in Playboy now.
hey, more power to you. That's what if Rachel wanted to do it, I'd back her 110%.
Would you really?
I would 110%. If my wife came to me one day and says, I'm thinking about posing in Playboy, you know what? I would look at her and say, go for it. I'd be proud to see you in that magazine, and I would support you 110%. You know why? Because my bank account is going to get real fat real fast. But no, on a serious note, not for the money. I would support her morally though for doing it.
Okay.
I would.
But could you get past the fact of knowing that somebody
Hundreds of thousands of men are seeing my wife naked.
Yeah,
No,
if
not at all.
somebody's in
Wouldn't
their
bother me.
room flipping through those pages and
Doing the hibbity
seeing-
dibbity. No, that wouldn't bother me.
That wouldn't bother you at
No,
all?
Not at all. Not at all. What about if Gary was offered a gig to pose in Playgirl and he can make an awful lot of money? Would you be upset at Gary?
No, I wouldn't be upset at him.
Okay, there
but
you go.
I
Now
wonder.
stop and think for a minute. Now, how would you feel if you knew that thousands of girls and some guys, as a matter of fact, were looking at Gary's centerfold picture with all his hanging out. How would you feel about that?
Gary's kind of a hot note, so I know the girl's kind of
Hot note.
Yeah, I know he's kind of dreamy, so he kind of gets that attention already. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I think I could get past that. But
Okay.
I'm just
It
wondering,
wouldn't bother me that Rachel would be in the centerfold of a magazine.
maybe we should have a call in. I'm wondering about the gentlemen with their lovely wives and their significance. If gentlemen are feeling the same as you
All right,
do.
so here's the question of the morning, okay? Question of the morning for today, okay? On this October the 6th. It's the question of the day. How would you feel, gentlemen, if your wife were to pose in Playboy magazine? All right, or your girlfriend or significant other or a female acquaintance of yours. How would you feel? Give us a call, 220-9788. We want to know exactly how you would feel.
Yeah,
And vice versa. If you're a lady listening to the program,
sure.
okay, how would you feel if your man wanted to pose in Playgirl? How would you feel about that?
Yeah, and with that note again, I guess it's like I wouldn't mind, but it's not that I care about him any less. I care
Mhm.
about him so much and I love him so much, but I don't think that would completely bother me. In fact, I think he looks like great in clothes, Evan, like these clothes that he gets. Usually he orders from Amazon,
Okay.
and I think he has a really good taste like in his chinos and the shoes that he wears and the
Okay.
shirts that he buys.
Okay.
I've often told him that he should be like a male model and
Okay.
model clothes because
Now, if I can get my wife to call in later, I want to get her thoughts on if I was offered a gig to pose in Playgirl, what she would think about that.
I know I'm wondering
Yeah.
what Rachel would be thinking.
Yeah, and I would love to get Gary's opinion on if you were asked to pose in Playboy, what he would think about that.
Yeah.
So we can get both ends of the spectrum, and the same thing with Phil. We'll get his opinion on if Veronique,
Sure.
okay, and so on and so forth. We'll just take it all the way down the line. I'll even call G and ask G on the air his opinion if his girl was asked to pose in Playgirl. What would he think about that?
And I could hear G right now. He's like, "Do I mind? Heck no."
Yeah.
I think I predict him saying that,
Yeah.
and I'm predicting that Rachel would be okay with you posing,
Mhm.
but my prediction could be wrong.
No, it won't be wrong because
Yeah?
I know she would be okay. She'd probably laugh too. News time. Let's go to the news desk. Here's Bond.
Thank you, Evan. Former Vice President Joe Biden says he has no plans to defund police departments. During an NBC News town hall in Miami last night, a woman with a son and husband in law enforcement wanted to know Biden's plan for police reform.
Well over 500,000 ballots have already been returned because of the coronavirus and all the hype surrounding the presidential election. The request for mail-in ballots has set a record at nearly 4.8 million. Of the 570,000 ballots already
And of course, that story came from Floridians already casting their ballots in the November election. Florida Democrats are accusing Republican leaders of voter suppression after the state's online voter portal crashed on the final day of voter registration. In a tweet last night, Secretary of State Laurel Lee blamed the difficulties on high volume. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden is reminding Floridians to get out to the polls.
Figure out exactly where you're going to vote, exactly how you're going to vote. And one more thing, do what my grandfather used to say up in Scranton, find the 5 people you're going to bring along to vote.
Biden campaigned yesterday in Miami. Though he is not completely recovered from the coronavirus, President Donald Trump left Walter Reed Medical Center Monday evening.
Over the past 24 hours, the president has continued to improve. He's met or exceeded all standard hospital discharge criteria. He'll receive another dose of remdesivir here today, and then we plan to get him home. It's been more than 72 hours since his last fever. Oxygen levels, including ambulatory saturations and his work of breathing, are all normal. Though he may not entirely be out of the woods yet, the team and I agree that all our evaluations, and most importantly, his clinical status, support the president's safe return home, where he'll be surrounded by world-class medical care 24/7.
According to experts, the president would likely still be contagious for up to 10 days following the onset of coronavirus symptoms. Despite not having fully recovered from coronavirus, Trump's health has improved enough for him to return to the White House. While CDC guidelines call on a 10-day isolation period, Dr. Conley said Trump intends to work out of the White House as soon as possible. While Conley wouldn't get into details on whether Trump would work out of the Oval Office, Dr. Conley acknowledged that Trump could still be shedding the virus for up to 10 days following the onset of symptoms. And lastly, after 5 days of off and on heavy rain and thunderstorms, parts of Hobe Sound and other areas in the county collected up to 20 inches of rainwater, according to weather officials. There was a lot of standing water Monday in portions of the county. Some areas of Stuart had 15 to 20 inches of rain since Thursday, according to National Weather Service meteorologists in Melbourne. There was an additional 1 to 2 inches estimated overnight into Monday morning, meteorologist Chrissy Negrin said. Well, we had a double header in the NFL last night with two teams now 4-0. So Green Bay beating Atlanta Falcons. They're 4-0. That score was 30-16. And the Chiefs upsetting New England last night, 26-10. The Chiefs now 4-0. An exciting first month of the NFL. Our news time is 6:28. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
.629 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's the Tuesday edition. Time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, Evan, our roads are nice and clear this morning. So if you're heading out, you're looking at a nice ride, dry conditions, and US 1 moving smoothly, the Turnpike and I-95 too this morning. There's your latest look at traffic. In Stuart, we have 81. And in Porto Alegre, Brazil, it's partly cloudy, 57. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Happy Monday, my sunshines. Temperatures starting off this morning in the mid to upper 70s, partly cloudy skies, isolated showers with some spotty downpours for that morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s, feels like temperatures in the upper 90s. Partly sunny skies with a 40% chance for scattered showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the upper 70s, increasing clouds. Tomorrow and Wednesday, tropical moisture associated with the tropical disturbance will increase our rain chances to 50%. Highs in the upper 80s through the middle of the week. By the end of the work week, drier air moves in, more sunshine with lower rain chances, highs in the upper 80s.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
She shouted upstairs saying dinner has started. I took one bite and I immediately farted. I know you cook healthy, you should be so proud, but it tastes so weird that I shout it out loud. It's not rice, it is cauliflower. It's got a smell that overpowers everything else I want to try. It's not rice, you chopped it up so it looks like it. But it's not rice, it is lying. And no amount of salt it will suffice. It's not rice.
That's the Holderness Family. They've just come out with some new parody songs that we're going to be playing on the radio this morning. And some of their stuff is really, really amazing. The stuff they come out with,
Yes.
it's like, wow, way cool.
Is that a parody right there, like on Bon Jovi?
Yeah, Bon Jovi's It's My Life.
Oh, It's My Life. Okay.
Yes.
And they're saying it's not
It's not rice. Yeah. Here, let's let it play a little more.
It's not rice, it is cauliflower. Now there's a pain I gotta scour. You've done this to me before.
You ever had cauliflower rice, Bonnie?
Cauliflower rice?
Yeah, cauliflower rice.
I have not.
It's actually really good.
I know there's making a pizza crust now with like a cauliflower pizza crust.
Never heard of that before.
It's kind of like a low carb diet. So you're getting cauliflower in the crust and you're not getting the carbs in the bread.
Oh.
And I was out to get my hair done at a nice salon down here in Jensen Beach.
And what salon was that?
It was called Evolutions.
Okay.
I don't think they're open anymore over there on the corner.
Oh, that's not good.
But was a huge place in there. And I know on the day I was getting my hair done, a lady brought in some cauliflower pizza for her coworkers to enjoy. And she
Okay.
was telling me how the crust is made of cauliflower.
I like garlic cauliflower. I buy the frozen vegetables, garlic cauliflower, put it in the microwave for 6 minutes, and away I go and dip it in a little sauce, and I'm good to go.
Do you prefer your cauliflower steamed and
Yes.
or
I don't like anything. I don't like any vegetable that's crunchy.
you don't?
My wife will tell you that. The broccoli has to be like butter. Cauliflower's got to be like butter. I cannot bite into a raw carrot if my life depended on it. But at the same time, I'll eat steamed carrots because they're soft, or the carrots out of the can. I'll dump them in a pan and put some brown sugar in there, and then I'm all good to
Oh,
go.
wow. See, I prefer mine with a little bit of crunch. And I'm all about the veggie tray when I go to a holiday party
Forget
and
that. I won't even go near there.
putting in the dip and,
Won't even
taking
touch it.
a crunchy bite out of it.
Won't even touch it with a 10-foot pole. Let's do some viral videos. Well, there's a video of a mom in the front seat of her car sings the first 3 words of Beyonce's I Care, and her little daughter in the back seat just takes over from there. And before long, an even younger daughter starts singing too. So let's listen to the video. Here we go. If I can get it to play.
I told you I love the baby, but you don't care. And now I'm crying in certain pain, but you don't care. Everybody tell me who's in love. Oh, yeah. I tell you all my fears. Don't care, that's okay.
This girl's going to town.
Yeah.
She's having a good old
But
time.
I care. I know I don't care too much, but I still care. La, 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 okay.
Now you got a duet.
La, 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 I care. I know I don't care too much, but I still care. Baby, baby.
That's Michaela Shooks on on Twitter at Michaela Shooks if you want to look her up.
Yeah,
Adorable little video.
Listening to her kids sing in the back seat. That's music to mother's ears.
Yeah.
Do you remember those songs you used to sing when you were a kid, Evan?
No.
I think I still have it like on a cassette tape somewhere where I was a really little bitty thing and singing Come Sail Away by Styx.
Oh.
And really getting into it with passion.
Okay. Interesting.
And Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog,
Oh,
too,
yeah.
by Three
That's
Dog
Joy,
Night.
Joy to the World was
Yeah.
the name of that song.
That's a song that we all like to sing when we were little boys and girls.
Wow. Interesting.
You don't have any song etched in your memory that like you
No.
were singing at one time or driving your parents nuts when they were in the front
All
seat?
I know is that I drove my parents nuts when we drove to Florida. I told you about that months ago. I had a guitar and I was playing one song all the way down to Florida. My dad got so ticked off at me, he took the guitar out of my hand and threw it out the window.
What song were you
70
playing?
miles an hour. Bobby Goldsboro's Watching Scotty Grow.
Oh, I would be kicking you out the door too.
Yeah.
After, I mean, I can listen to that song once or twice.
I played that after about 30 miles. My dad pulled over, grabbed the guitar, threw it out the window, and we carried on down the road. I didn't speak to my dad for a week.
You never saw that guitar again.
Nah, definitely did not. He did a Kiss.
He had enough.
Smashed it. That was it. He was done.
Oh, Kiss was another one we would do. We would all get together in like the bedroom and we'd have our Kiss records playing and we would pretend that we were all members of Kiss.
Oh boy.
I used to like being Paul Stanley.
I was going to say, I could see you made up as Paul Stanley and you be the rocker. You know, maybe you should come in one morning all made up as Paul Stanley for the show.
Oh, that would be fun,
Right?
wouldn't it?
Right. And kind of wear all black.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the whole nine
yeah.
yards for Halloween, for the Halloween show. I don't get dressed up for Halloween. Sorry, that's just my personal preference. But I could just picture you dressed up as Paul Stanley.
That would be like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
see you dressed up as Paul Stanley, red lipstick, the whole 9 yards. I'll even bring the electric guitar in.
Really?
So you could just kind of like, you know, stroke
Oh.
it around left and right and try to make an attempt to. Do you play the guitar?
I don't.
I do. I play.
Okay.
Legit, I do play. I play the guitar, I play the drums, and I play the keyboard.
So you should dress up like one of those dudes.
I
You
don't
sh-
dress
you
up
could
for Halloween.
You could get like the big wig, and you know they're big. They're bigger than me. They're kind of like 6'1", like you are. I think they're taller people.
A wig that's 6'1".
No, you just get this big black bushy wig and
Okay.
come in as like Gene Simmons, and then stick out your tongue.
I can't touch my nose with my tongue, so that just wouldn't work.
So that's not going to work.
No, that won't work.
Well, we could get
And
you
I'm
a
not
fake one.
I'm not spitting blood out either. It's not going to work. Anyway, a comedian named Alexis Gay posted a video that kind of sums up 2020. It's her wide range of answers after somebody asked the question, "How you doing?" So somebody asked her, "How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?" And this is her response.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. All things considered. In the grand scheme of things, given everything going on, I am physically here. So that's something. It could be worse. It could be worse. It could be worse. Existential dread. Everybody is engaged somehow. This does not strike me as a sexy romantic time, but okay. You know, I'm not bad, but I feel bad. I am meditating. Human conditions. Like, should I move? Seems like a bad time to move, but should I?
There you go.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Very interesting there. Very
Okay.
interesting. Lastly, the final viral video that's out for today. Have you ever been to a restaurant where the employees take turns singing, Bonnie? You ever been there where they sing?
The employees. Now let
Yeah.
me see. I have been to some restaurant in the past where they do that.
There's a burger joint in Orlando that does that. But there was a guy that was sitting at a table when a server singing Let It Go put the mic in front of his face, and without missing a beat, he belts it out just like a pro. Okay? He literally belts it out just like a pro. Let's listen. Here we go. He killed it. Yeah, he killed it.
She handed the microphone to the right customer.
Yeah, she
because
did.
He was very good.
She did. We have a phone call this morning. Let's go to the phones. Hi, good morning. You're on the air with Evan and Bonnie. Who's this?
Well,
Oh, it's Big Kitty. Good morning, Big Kitty. And how are you today?
well,
Very good. Very good. So I have a question to ask you, Big Kitty. I understand that you're going to be interviewing the alleged bear that supposedly possibly pushed Edna over the cliff. Is this true?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that going to happen today?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So great. Now we're going to get an interview with a cat and a bear.
But Big Kitty, aren't you afraid of the bear?
No.
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 Cat's not afraid of
Cat's
no bear.
not afraid of no bear. He
I
ain't
guess
afraid
not.
of no damn bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
What if that bear came and tried to push you off the mountain or chase you off
Cats
the
have
mountain?
9 lives.
Big Kitty.
Remember that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So even
So-
if Big Kitty fell, he's still got 8 more times to fall.
I guess 'tis true.
Yeah. So he's got 9 lives.
Well,
Yeah. Okay. How is Big Kitty's living with who now these days? Bonnie?
Fredo. I think it's Fredo.
Yeah. How's Fredo? Is Fredo well?
well,
Okay. Is Fredo being nice to you?
well,
Does Fredo give you lots of treats?
well,
Does Fredo give you loving?
well,
Does Fredo cuddle with you?
well,
Does Fredo kiss your forehead?
well,
Does Fredo pet you?
well,
Does Fredo take you out to the bathroom?
well,
Oh no. Do you does Fredo clean your litter box every day?
well,
Okay, just checking.
Sounds like Fredo.
Why
is
am
a-
I having a conversation with a stupid cat?
I think Fredo's a pretty good pet owner, though. It sounds like this guy's doing pretty good.
I guess.
well,
Um
well,
I don't know what else to ask. I don't. I completely what? The
Big Kitty-
cats- Wait a minute. I think Big Kitty was making an attempt to sing.
Sing, yeah, because
Oh, did you want to sing Let It Go? Oh my God, this is great. Big Kitty sings the hits. Well, you know, Big Kitty is opening for you, Bonnie.
yeah, it's like my opening show.
It's the
and
opening act.
Big Kitty with a little bit of comedy relief before
What else?
the act.
What else can you sing, Big Kitty? Go ahead and sing another hit. Let's see if we can guess it. Sounds like the theme from Shaft.
Oh, does
no idea.
I'm not guessing that song, Big Kitty. It sounded familiar to begin with. It almost sounded like bum bum bum.
Oh, is that
bum,
Smoke on the
bum,
Water?
bum,
Oh, it was Smoke on the Water. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
And a fire in the sky.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Go ahead and give us another one, Big Kitty. Let's test our knowledge here. Oh, that's Happy Birthday. Yeah, that's Happy Birthday. That's a dead ringer.
Do you wish anybody a happy birthday, Big Kitty?
Cat can't talk.
No.
No. No. All right. One more. Go ahead. Give us one more song, if you would. I'm really putting Big Kitty on the spot.
I know.
Can you do Michael Jackson, Billie Jean? Okay.
That's not too shabby.
Okay. All right.
You nearly got me dancing, Big
All right.
Kitty.
I wonder if Big Kitty can do Elvis. Wow. Okay.
Do Kentucky Rain. I want to hear Kentucky Rain.
What is it? What is this? Casey Kasem's top 40? Jeez. Okay. Well, we're going to let Big Kitty go because I think Big Kitty is about played out.
Yeah.
You know, we can't put any more quarters in Big Kitty's slot because we won't get any more songs out.
Big Kitty tired.
Yeah, Big Kitty's tired.
Yeah.
So go wake up Fredo so Fredo can feed you, okay? And put the phone back so Fredo doesn't know you were on the damn phone. All right. Have a good night, Big Kitty. Bye-bye. All right.
Big
very
Kitty's
good.
going to go back and nappy now.
Yeah,
Take a little
whatever.
sleepy.
Whatever. 6:46 right now on the Get Up and Go show. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk once again. Here's Bonnie.
Thank you, Evan. Former Vice President Joe Biden says he has no plans to defund police departments. During an NBC News town hall in Miami last night, a woman with a son and husband in law enforcement wanted to know Biden's plan for police reform.
I'm going to bring all these interests together. Peaceful protesters, police chiefs, police officers, the police unions, as well as the civil rights groups in the White House, and sit down and decide what are the things that need to be done to improve and help police officers.
Earlier in the day, Biden campaigned in Miami's Little Haiti and Little Havana sections. Meanwhile, Floridians are already casting their ballots in the November election.
Well over 500,000 ballots have already been returned. Because of the coronavirus and all the hype surrounding the presidential election, the request for mail-in ballots has set a record at nearly 4.8 million. Of the 570,000 ballots already returned, 300,000 were from registered Democrats, 157,000 from Republicans, another 100,000 had no political affiliation. All mail-in ballots must be submitted by, not postmarked, submitted by November 3rd. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Florida Democrats are accusing Republican leaders of voter suppression after the state's online voter portal crashed on the final day of voter registration. In a tweet last night, Secretary of State Laurel Lee blamed the difficulties on high volume. One part of President Donald Trump's care for COVID-19 has been the use of a new antibody drug cocktail. That drug is now available in a local clinical trial.
In recent weeks, Dr. Modi Ramgopal has seen his COVID-19 patient load drop from over 100 to about 20.
Wearing masks is such an important part of preventing the spread of COVID.
Now, the Fort Pierce infectious disease doctor is engaging in another potential game changer in the coronavirus fight. His office taking part in a clinical trial involving an experimental antibody cocktail by Regeneron, the same one President Donald Trump was given.
These are antibodies that are injected into our system that boost our immune system to fight the virus or to have activity against the virus.
It's in this room where technicians mix the antibody cocktail for the trial patients.
Dr. Ramgopal says it can be used not just with hospitalized patients, but also for those who may have been exposed at home. At nearby Longwood Regional Medical Center, the hospital was one of the first in Florida to use remdesivir as a treatment option, the drug saving the life of a St. Lucie West Centennial High School student.
We've come a long way from that. You remember early on, we had no options. It was just supportive treatment for patients who came in with a viral syndrome.
Chief of Medicine, Dr. Michael Bakerman, says the president's care has generally followed what they would do.
We really would like to be aggressive early on rather than coming at the back end. So this treatment has followed generally appropriate principles.
With flu season approaching and COVID still here, Dr. Bakerman says get a flu shot and adds this advice: wear a mask, social distance, and wash your hands. In Fort Pierce, John Shainman, WPTV, News Channel 5.
SpaceX will try again this morning to launch another batch of Starlink internet satellites from Kennedy Space Center. Yesterday's attempt was grounded by weather. And lastly, Hurricane Delta is now a Category 2 storm in the Caribbean with top winds of 100 miles an hour. It's expected to move into the Gulf as a major hurricane tomorrow and make landfall by the end of the week somewhere between Louisiana and the Florida Panhandle. The New York Yankees chased Rays ace Blake Snell en route to a 9-3 victory over Tampa Bay in Game 1 of their American League Division Series in San Diego. Game 2 is tonight. And also last night, Houston Astros take a win over Oakland. That score was 10-5. News time 6:51. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
6:52 the time on the Tuesday edition of the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. It's all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
We're not finding any traffic accidents, so it's just really a quiet Tuesday morning out on the roads. No tie-ups that we're seeing. Just look for kids and the school buses, slow down in the school zones. And there's your latest look at traffic. Port St. Lucie, it's 79, and in Middletown, Delaware, it's 45. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Happy Tuesday, my sunshine, starting off the day in the upper 70s inland and low 80s towards the coast. Partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers for that morning drive. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s, feels like temperatures in the triple digits. Scattered showers on and off throughout the day and a few isolated storms, breezy winds out of the east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy with some storms into the overnight hours, lows in the low 80s. Tomorrow, some morning showers, then clearing conditions throughout the afternoon. Highs tomorrow in the low 90s with heat index values in the triple digits. We'll stay breezy tomorrow with winds out of the southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Mainly dry through the end of the work week with low rain chances and more sunshine. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
You know, Bonnie, has your pet ever gotten you in trouble with the law? Just out of curiosity, any pet you've ever owned broke something of value or ate something that it shouldn't have, gotten loose and was arrested by the pet police,
No,
so to speak?
thank goodness it hasn't. And I never had like a dog that has ever bit anyone or that sort of thing.
Okay. Well, what did your pet do to get you in trouble? I'd like to know. You can give us a call, 220-9788. What did you do, or actually, what did your pet do to get you in trouble? I would love to know those answers. Let's go to the phones and see what this caller says.
I had 2 bigger dogs at one point and 3 cats. One of my dogs is afraid of lightning storms, and he managed to jump out of our yard, and he didn't have his collar on, so he got picked up by the dog police.
Oh.
And when I showed up to bail him out of doggy jail, having a conversation with the young lady behind the counter, and she said, "Oh, you have another dog and 3 cats? Are they not licensed with the city either?" And I said,
Not good.
Damn it. And about $600 worth of fines and licensing of some pets later, I bailed them out of jail.
All right.
The upshot of it is some of the kittens we had rescued, and they ended up fixing them for free for me. There's good and bad with everything. Gotta love the animals.
Yeah, you true. Got to love the animals. All right, next caller. What did you do that your pets got in trouble?
Well, my horse left my property, and my neighbor called the animal police, and they took me to court. I had to pay $1,500.
Oh.
5 years probation. I'm not lying. It's on the record.
Wow.
I had never been in trouble like that before at all. You know what had happened? My neighbor on the other side, bush hogging his property, and maybe had a beer too much and tore down 80 foot of my fence and didn't tell me about it. Now, he was all caught up in his machine. He knew that he did it, but we've been living the neighbors for 18 years together. He didn't tell me about it.
All right, let's take another call and let's see what this caller's pet did to get them in trouble.
Well, it didn't happen to me. It happened to my mom.
Oh, okay.
We were showing Show Dog, and our male lab decided to find an Irish setter that was in heat, and because he decided he wanted to mate with her, he got us thrown out of the competition. And I was like, oh no.
Wow.
Your dog was looking for a girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. It's amazing the kind of things that people will tell us when we put a question out there. The news is coming up next, and then hour number 2 of the Get Up and Go show right here on WSTU. We'll be right back.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
7:07 on the Get Up and Go Show, and we are in the most palatial radio studios this side of the Mississippi.
You call this Big Market Radio?
Yes, we are Big Market Radio because our friend Mark Hales hears us all the way over in England.
I know that's right.
That's right. We are the best thing going in England right now.
Shut up and take my money.
I don't need to have any money given to me to make that statement that we are the best thing going in England.
Shut up and take my money.
I don't want your money.
Yeah, man.
That's right. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning to you, Evan. Yes, we are large market. We're like large Marge, large and in charge.
Oh, don't say large Marge. You're going to tick somebody off.
Okay.
If somebody out there is listening and you're named Marge and you're overweight, we apologize for that statement. We don't want to make you feel like you're obese. Embarrass anybody.
No, never want to embarrass anybody like that.
No, large
but I guess
Marge.
we can be large and in charge.
Thank you. Yes, we are large and in charge. Well, I didn't realize it was that funny, but that's besides the point.
Oh, and Mark Hales, too, said that it's nice and pleasant in England, like 58 degrees where he's at.
Yeah.
And, that would be perfect weather. Just like, that you would feel that chill in the air. But
Everybody's happy that it's chilly
not
over there
that
in
cold.
England. See, even the kids are happy this morning.
Today would be a nice beach day here, Evan. It's not raining, but I forgot to
No.
bring my swimming suit.
Well, you don't need a suit for Blind Creek Beach, Bonnie. You just go and drop everything and you're good to go.
Yeah, I guess I could just pass Stewart Beach right up there and head on up
There you go.
A1A. And
There you go. No swimsuit needed. Just go and get an even tan all around.
All
and you'll
right.
come in tomorrow and you'll be glowing, have this nice bronze glow upon you.
Yeah, pretty much.
With no tan lines.
Glowing all over. That's right.
Then Gary will look at you like, where have you been, Bonnie? Is there something I need to know?
Yeah. Why didn't you even have your swimsuit along?
Right, exactly. It's like, why didn't you invite me, Bonnie? Anyway, let's do some birthdays and anniversaries. Time for birthdays, anniversaries back in the day. Bonnie, what do you got for me?
Well, Topanga's birthday is tomorrow.
Is it really?
Yep, October 7th.
All right, so here's the deal. What time does Topanga get up for school?
I have to call her tonight. I think she gets up right around 4:30 a.m.
Okay.
She
You
usually
need
does.
to make her fully aware that we are going to call Topanga tomorrow at 7:09 and wish her a happy birthday on the radio.
I'll call her up tonight and see if that's okay with her and her mom. Her mom's busy in the morning getting, both of the school kids ready. And
Well,
her,
Topanga's a little older, so she can
Yeah.
get herself ready.
and her mom is a school teacher too.
We only need 3 minutes
So-
of Topanga's time. That's all we need. Three
3
stinking minutes.
Okay, I'll see if I can get her out of the bathroom long enough to,
3 minutes.
stop doing her hair. And
She doesn't have to get out of the bathroom. She could put the phone on speakerphone. Quit making excuses up. All right? She could put that damn phone on speakerphone,
Yeah.
and she can take a phone call from you
We'll see.
live on the radio.
I will get young Topanga's permission first.
Please do.
Yes.
Because I want to call her and wish her a happy birthday.
They're very nice.
Yes.
Very
we
nice
we
of
have
you.
a call, as a matter of fact, right now. Hi, you're on Bonnie. Who's this?
Yeah, man.
Hey, Fredo, what's happening, buddy?
Hey, you were sitting there talking about how your animal gets you in trouble with the law.
How what now?
How the animal gets you in trouble. with
Yes.
the law.
Yeah, we were talking about that last hour. We took some calls. I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to call in because of the news. Do you have any animals that got you in trouble?
Oh, yeah. Big Kitty got me in trouble one time.
Really? And what happened?
Oh, she was on the street corner taking money. Yeah, man.
What?
Yeah, man. Had to go get her fixed. Yeah, man.
Big Kitty was working the corner?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Had to go
Okay.
pick her up out of little kitty jail. Yeah, man. Had to
Really?
bail her out.
Was
Yeah.
she singing for money, and did she have a band with
Oh
her?
no, she was doing more than
she was
singing
not
for
no
money,
singing
Bonnie.
No money. No.
No. She was working the corner, Bonnie. If you
Working-
get what
Yeah,
I'm
man.
saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
'cause-
Big Kitty was pimping herself out.
Oh my goodness, Big Kitty. Big
Yeah.
Kitty. I'm gonna-
That's when I first got her. I had to tell her to stop doing that. Don't need no little kitties running around my house. Yeah, man.
Hey, now rumor has it that you are sponsoring Phil's taste test starting tomorrow. Fredo's
Yeah,
food
man.
truck. I heard about that.
Yeah, we're gonna have the food truck there. Phil's gonna eat everything. Yeah, man. Everything from like dead possum. Yeah, he'll eat that. Yeah,
Dead
man.
possum?
Yeah, man. He's eating possum. He told me he ate possum.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay. All
And
right.
raccoon, maybe some steak. Yeah, he'll try it all. He don't care.
We better have the paramedics right here tomorrow when
Wow.
we're broadcasting,
Okay.
Evan. We don't
All
want
right.
Phil to perish or
No,
anything.
Phil will be fine. Phil's a grown man. He'll be fine. He has a stomach of steel.
Maybe he has 4 stomachs like a cow does.
I don't know. You calling Phil a cow? Jeez.
Well, with the way that guy can eat, though, he's brought in those delicious donuts to us before.
Yeah, he's bought in the Boston creams.
Maybe he'll do that tomorrow.
Are you
Maybe.
hinting? Are you throwing an indirect hint out at Phil if he's listening?
Perhaps the donuts were very good. And
Okay.
are you sure you don't want to delight in any of my my country club eggs
No,
tomorrow
we're
morning?
okay. We're okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's up to you.
Country club eggs.
Yeah, country club eggs.
Yeah.
What's country club eggs?
I don't know. They're probably made in a country club, I guess. Probably goes to the local golf club,
man.
raids the kitchen, and whips up some eggs, and that's how you get country club eggs.
They're made
Yeah,
they're
man.
made by me from scratch in the kitchen, but if you're like afraid of the whole COVID thing and maybe you don't want to eat my eggs, I don't have to make them tomorrow.
No,
But,
we're not afraid. It's just the donuts are enough.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, you're
and
just trying to pack my pounds on here.
I just feel like Phil's been spending like so much money on us lately.
He's rich. He can afford that.
That's why God made Venmo. Yeah, man.
God made Venmo. That's right.
That's right. I use Venmo all the time in my businesses. Yeah, man.
That's right. Venmo, Cash App, Zelle.
I hear Venmo's coming out
PayPal.
with a credit card of their own too. Venmo is.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I heard that this morning.
I'm not sure.
I'm looking to get my own credit card service too, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh,
right
Fredo's credit service. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Very interesting. How many more businesses are you going to have?
Well, minutes a day, as long as I make that money. Yeah, man.
Fredo probably give you a credit line of $25.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, Fredo.
right.
All right, Fredo. Anybody you want to say happy birthday to out there, Fredo?
Yeah. Yeah, Lakeisha's birthday, from what I've been told.
Oh, we haven't heard from Lakeisha in a really long time.
Yeah,
It's been a
Lakeisha's
while.
birthday, and I think Bentley took her out last night.
Oh, okay. Maybe Lakeisha will call into the program, and she can let us know how her date went with Bentley.
Yeah.
Bentley's been on the hush hush about her too. We haven't heard anything about Lakeisha from Bentley lately.
Yeah, Bentley's kind of been laying low lately too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
he
there's a Bentley
hiding?
guy.
I got a
From
funny
what I
feeling.
hear.
I got a funny feeling. There's a rumor circulating around the internet that Bentley may become a father. Yeah, Bentley might become
Wow.
a daddy.
That's what I heard.
Did you hear about that, Fredo?
Oh, I didn't hear about that. I talk to Bentley all the time.
Yeah. There's a rumor I found on one of the boards that Bentley was looking for some suggestions on how to raise a child as a first-time father.
Maybe we'll be attending a wedding then soon. Hopefully,
I don't know.
the wedding bells will be ringing.
Ooh, maybe we might be performing a wedding right here in the studio.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Oh man.
Anything's possible.
anything
Yeah,
is.
man.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, that maybe he'll use Fredo's wedding service. Yeah, man. I
geez,
can
here we
get him
go.
married.
Oh,
Yeah.
All
Evan,
right.
you got some competition.
No, there's no
Fredo's.
competition. Nobody can compete with me. Trust me. Not even Fredo.
Oh, please. Yeah, man. I can sit there and I'll tell you what, boy. What are you talking about?
Listen, let me tell you something. Okay, I will have a turntable battle with you anytime on the ones and the twos whenever you're ready to go. You don't even have a set of Techniques SL 1200 MK2s in your arsenal at all. So
No, I have Newmark. That's right. Yeah, man.
that's all that digital crap.
He plays the tunes right out of his van. He just opens
Yeah,
the
he
van
hooks up
doors
an,
up.
he hooks
Yeah,
an
I get
iPod
the-
up.
I actually steal some speakers out of my van, too, in the parking lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
outside of
Yeah.
Winn-Dixie. Yeah,
That's
man.
right.
Cheap stuff.
That's
All
right.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, we'll let you go, and we're going to carry on with our birthdays and anniversaries.
All right.
So you have a marvelous day, and keep on trucking.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Talk to you later.
See you later.
Stay
All
cool,
right.
Fredo.
All right. There
Stay
we go.
cool.
All right. Let's get back to thinks he could be a better DJ than shame on him. I'm insulted.
Well, Fredo can do everything. It sounds like
This is
his hands are into
This is true.
mini pies.
Jeremy Sistos, 46 years old today. That's Agent Valentine on FBI Billy. Lone Grufford, 48 years old. It's Mr. Fantastic in the first two Fantastic Four movies. Amy Johnson, 60 years old today. That's Kimberly, the Pink Ranger. So the Pink Power Ranger is 50 years old today.
Is she really?
Wow.
Oh, man. Did you get into the Power Rangers? And
Oh, I loved the Power Rangers
did
when
you
they were out.
buy them for your kids? Were your
Yes.
kids at that
My
at that
kids
age
were
where?
really into the Power Rangers back in the day.
Yeah, my stepkids are more. They're really into the Avengers, and I'm pretty sure I saw a Power Ranger or two lying around the house too that Jaden had.
I tell you what, Amy Jo Johnson, she's a cutie patootie. Yeah, she's definitely
Yeah.
a cutie patootie without a doubt.
Do you think she's hotter than like Black Widow from Avengers?
I don't know. I don't know who that is. She's not hotter than my wife. I can tell you
Scarlett
that much.
Scarlett Johansson.
No. No, Tony Dungy, 65 years old today. Former coach of the Indianapolis Colts, now on NBC's Sunday Night Football pregame show and Football Night in America. Tony Dungy, 65. David Hidalgo, 66. Kevin Cronin, 69. You know who that is, Bonnie?
Yeah, he is the lead singer for REO Speedwagon.
Right.
And I knew his brother really well. His brother, Sean Cronin, had been a weatherman up in central Wisconsin.
I thought you were going to tell me that y'all went to different schools together. Ellen Travolta is 81 years old today. You know who that is?
That would be probably John's sister, I would
Exactly.
gather.
Yep, she played Charles' mother, Lillian, on Charles and Charles. Bruno Sammartino, old school professional wrestler from the 60s, celebrating a birthday in the heavens. He died just a couple of years ago. Master.
I think Bruno Mars got his name from him, or their parents named Bruno Mars after that wrestler. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll have to do some digging into that one.
Okay.
Today is National Plus Size Appreciation Day.
Okay.
You know what that means?
We can appreciate the plus sizes.
That's right.
For sure.
Plus size. So if you're a plus size male or female, we appreciate you without a doubt.
I like how I think Victoria's Secret this past year just kind of like started to advertise with heavier set models.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Rubenesque is what they're called.
Rubenesque?
Rubenesque.
I like that.
Rubenesque.
Bodacious?
Bodacious,
Mhm.
definitely. Today is, of course, like I said, National Plus Size Appreciation Day. And you know what's happening in 5 days, Bonnie? 5 days from now.
Will be coming out, my friends.
That's right. National Coming Out Day. I will be coming out in 5 days. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So on Sunday at dinner, I've got to find a closet to go stand in and then come out at the restaurant.
Just so you can come out of the
So
closet.
I can just come out of the closet
and
and say
at
I
that
did it.
time, I'm gonna go find an outhouse and come on out of the outhouse too.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Why in God's name would you do that?
I don't
If
know.
you're coming out of the outhouse, you're going to wind up doing this over and over. That's right. Over and over, you're going to be doing that if you're coming out of the outhouse.
Well, you were coming out of something, so I just had to find a place to come out of.
But an outhouse
So-
of all places?
I
You
mean,
couldn't pick the back room or something?
maybe a porta potty.
That's the
Yeah,
same thing
come
as
out
an
of a-
outhouse. That'd be a crappy situation.
Yeah, but the porta potties are they're portable and more mobile than a standing outhouse.
All right.
I stand my ground.
There you go. No pun intended there. Stand your ground. By the way, if you ever go in to use a porta potty, don't ever sit down. Don't.
Yeah.
Stand up, take aim, and fire. 7:20. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk. Here's Bonnie.
Thank you, Evan. Former Vice President Joe Biden says he has no plans to defund police departments. During an NBC News town hall in Miami last night, a woman with a son and husband in law enforcement wanted to know Biden's plan for police reform.
I'm going to bring all these interests together. Peaceful protesters, police chiefs, police officers, the police unions, as well as the civil rights groups in the White House, and sit down and decide what are the things that need to be done to improve and help police officers.
Earlier in the day, Biden campaigned in Miami's Little Haiti and Little Havana sections. And Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden also reminding Floridians to get out to the polls.
Figure out exactly where you're going to vote, exactly how you're going to vote. And one more thing, do what my grandfather used to say up in Scranton, find the 5 people you're going to bring along to vote.
Several homes were evacuated Monday night after a resident found an old ordinance on a bench in Indian River County.
Evacuations in Vero Beach after an old military munition was discovered. That munition found on the beach behind the Ocean Ridge community. Indian River County fire crews and the sheriff's office first responded when someone walking the beach saw the old explosive. They also brought in members of the military from Patrick Air Force Base to help decide how to dispose of it and determine whether it is indeed still active.
Well, Vero Beach being on the Treasure Coast and the location and being a former base years ago in the early 40s and prior for World War II, this is somewhat common here. We see this has happened, several times a year. Something's found on the beach or floats up on the beach. It's from old training ordinances and things like that they did when they were training to pre-World War II.
At least one homeowner opted to stay, telling our crew they've been through this at least 6 or 7 times over the years.
According to experts, President Trump would likely still be contagious for up to 10 days following the onset of coronavirus symptoms. Despite not having fully recovered from coronavirus, Trump's health has improved enough for him to return to the White House. While CDC guidelines call on a 10-day isolation period, Dr. Conley said Trump intends to work out of the White House as soon as possible. While Conley wouldn't go into details on whether Trump would work out of the Oval Office, Dr. Conley acknowledged that Trump could still be shedding the virus for up to 10 days following the onset of symptoms. SpaceX will try again this morning to launch another batch of Starlink internet satellites from Kennedy Space Center. Yesterday's attempt was grounded by weather. And lastly, after 5 days of off and off heavy rain and thunderstorms, parts of Hobe Sound and other areas in the county collected up to 20 inches of rainwater. Weather officials said there was a lot of standing water Monday in portions of the county. Some areas of Stuart had 15 to 20 inches of rain since Thursday, according to National Weather Service meteorologists in Melbourne. There was an additional 1 to 2 inches estimated overnight into Monday morning. The NBA Finals continue in Orlando tonight. It's going to be Game 4 when the Los Angeles Lakers lead the Miami Heat 2-1. The NFL action from last night, too. Green Bay is now 4-0. They beat the Atlanta Falcons 30-16. Kansas City Chiefs 4-0. They upset New England 26-10 last night. News time is 7:24. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
$7:25, the time of the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
We're not finding any accidents, so it's really just been a nice, quiet Tuesday morning all around on the roads. North and southbound, the major highways are clear right now. Traveling on US 1, that is also looking good. There's your latest look at traffic. And in Palm City, it's a partly cloudy sky in 82. And in Granada, Spain right now, it's partly cloudy in 67. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Happy Tuesday, my sunshine, starting off the day in the upper 70s inland and low 80s towards the coast. Partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers for that morning drive. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s, feels like temperatures in the triple digits. Scattered showers on and off throughout the day and a few isolated storms, breezy winds out of the east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy with some storms into the overnight hours, lows in the low 80s. Tomorrow, some morning showers, then clearing conditions throughout the afternoon. Highs tomorrow in the low 90s with heat index values in the triple digits. We'll stay breezy tomorrow with winds out of the southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Mainly dry through the end of the work week with low rain chances and more sunshine. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
Comrades, Yevgeny Petrov here with the Sputnik V, the first registered COVID-19 vaccine in the world. You may be saying, wow, Yevgeny, that was fast. Well, you would be right. Russian scientists fast-tracked Sputnik V vaccine. But don't be worried, the testing has been both rigorous and completely voluntary. No animal was harmed at vaccine trial. Mainly because we test on Ukrainian. It's fine. He get vodka, cigarette, and free vaccine. It's a very good deal. Be sure to sign up to receive your dose of Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine. And remember, in Russia, vaccine gets you. Sputnik V, because as the great one says, you miss 100% of the shots you do not take.
I think that's pretty funny. I like that one. That was a pretty good commercial. That was a little parody there.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
What am I doing? I'm losing my marbles because the internet is really glitchy this morning, and we keep losing our feed up and down, but that's okay. We can lose all the feed we want, but one thing we'll never lose is stupid news.
And now it's time for Stupid News,
It's so stupid and awesome.
where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid?
Are you effing stupid?
Oh, you know, when you hear this, it's gonna be really good. Let's go to Derby, England, where some idiot got pulled over the other day for driving with an illegal muffler, tinted windows, no license or insurance, and he was drunk. And he tried to get out of it by giving the cops a fake name.
Sounds like he had a whole line of things with his car. Why did he even drive his car out of the driveway? So many things wrong with it. Just asking the police officers to pull him over.
What he didn't realize was that one of the cops knew his face because they went to school together 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
The cop posted about it on Twitter, and somebody joked their next reunion might get a little weird. They seized the guy's car and arrested him for drunk driving. It's not clear if he's facing more charges for the fake name.
He was arrested by his classmate.
Classmate busted him.
I have a true story for you, Evan.
Go ahead.
You know, I was pulled over by a classmate of mine in a cop car. So I wasn't arrested, but I was delivering pizzas for the Pizza Chef one year in Wausau, Wisconsin.
Wausau, Wisconsin.
So I have my little Pizza Chef hat on, and, you know, I'm bringing a pizza to these folks out in the country, and it's a 25 mile per hour zone. So I start to put the pedal to the metal, and I'm going 52. And all of a sudden I see the blue lights in back of me.
Yeah.
And the officer walks out. The car is Darren, who I graduated with from high school.
Yeah.
I look up at him and he says, Bonnie? Really, Bonnie? 52 and a 25?
Yeah. Here's an interesting story. South Carolina TV news anchor smashed a beer bottle over a man's head during a heated spat about politics, police said. Cammie Jo Rossler, 28 years old. She's a morning news anchor at WIS TV in Columbia. Got into an argument with a 32-year-old victim while sitting outside Sunday in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We had a few people that were there, and two of them began arguing, police spokesman said. They know each other. They're not in any type of relationship. The victim said it was some type of political argument. Rossler allegedly grabbed a beer bottle and swung it at the man, cracking him in the head. She was arrested and also fired from her job at the TV station as well.
Well, the TV news anchor did this?
Yep.
Took the beer bottles and smashed it over a guy's head?
Yep, while she was doing a report. How's
Honestly.
that one? Yep.
What? You would, who writes this stuff? I mean,
listen, I don't write this.
What kind of news anchor would do that sort of thing?
Well, somebody that wanted to smash a beer bottle over somebody's head.
And reporting the news everywhere, and knowing that nowadays there's camera and cell phones and iPhones and people videotaping you like everywhere.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And then did she have to report it on the news the next day about herself?
No, because she was fired that night.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's wow. That's just That story takes the cake this morning.
Oh, there's more stories. A Miami man who was denied an alcoholic drink aboard a flight from New York to Miami because he was too drunk and went on a rampage and bit off part of another passenger's ear. Okay, you think that story was bad? Here's this one.
Wow.
The 29-year-old first tried to open a fridge containing booze mid-flight and then swiped a drink from another passenger before the flight from New York
Took it right out
touched down
of
in Miami.
another passenger's hands or something.
Yeah, members of the Miami-Dade PD spoke to the crew when they landed in Miami, who told them about the man's actions that a fight broke out in the cabin. As officers were boarding the plane, you could clearly see the man was subdued with duct tape to his chair.
Oh, wow.
They duct taped the guy to the chair.
Yeah. by his hiney.
Well, they duct taped him to the chair.
Right on the hiney.
Okay. When the police noticed he had blood on his mouth, they asked him how that got there. And he stated that he bit off part of a passenger's ear because they wouldn't let him have their drink.
Oh, wow.
He was eventually arrested and charged with a laundry list of crimes.
That guy's ears looked like they tasted good.
Yeah.
He wasn't thinking about COVID or anything, was he?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Somebody in a full-body chipmunk costume went into a pharmacy in Ville Platte, Louisiana this past Saturday afternoon, pulled out a gun, and robbed the place. The chipmunk stole a bunch of pills, then ran out of the store. He also stole the pharmacist's cell phone, but when she told him there were pictures of her grandkids on there, as the chipmunk was running out, he popped out the SIM card so she wouldn't lose those pictures. Cops say they are now trying to track down the pill-stealing, gun-toting chipmunk, who also has a soft side.
Somebody needs to Baker Act the chipmunk.
Yeah.
Sounds like it has a pill problem.
More than that, there's a 29-year-old guy named Nicholas Ellingford from Lincoln City, Oregon, and he was at a grocery store this past Sunday evening with a friend. Nicholas has brought along his Glock 9mm handgun, and while he was in the checkout line, he pulled out the gun to show his friend. And as he put it back in his pants, well, he accidentally shot himself right in the junk.
Oh.
The bullet went through his groin and exited through his thigh. He needed to be airlifted to the hospital for the injury, and it turns out he didn't have a concealed carry license, so he could be looking at charges for that as well, plus
I don't have those kind of goods down there, but I was even feeling that one, Evan.
Yeah.
You probably made
you have some goods, but not those kind of goods.
You made a million gentlemen probably run right off the road right there with that story.
I mean, you don't have a set of boys. You have a girl.
Yeah, but
down there.
I felt that one. I felt that one for sure.
Sure you did.
Ooh.
A food delivery man was seen riding his motorcycle without clothes in Atlanta, Georgia, and he reported himself to police on Monday. Okay, think about that one.
Wait a minute. He was riding the motorcycle clothesless.
Without clothes, and he reported himself to police. A video of a naked man riding a motorcycle with a food delivery bag behind him was shared via social media. The incident took place in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. Reporters visited the nearby areas where the naked man was seen, but a local store owner said that the sight of the man was unbearable and she could not eat food delivered by him.
No doubt.
A taxi driver named Seymour Schmidt, age 66. Seymour Schmidt.
He wanted us to see more of it.
He was age 66 and said that he saw the man park his motorcycle in front of a temple. Then he took off his clothes and walked around and later rode off on his motorcycle. The biker also mentioned that the naked man later returned to the temple, walked around, and finally wore his clothes before leaving. On the same day earlier, the suspect reported himself to local police for what he had done. His name was Harvey Whippleman. Harvey Whippleman, age 24, he was arrested in front of the temple. The man claimed that he decided to be naked that morning due to his personal problems.
He couldn't get all the attention, even butt naked, so he had to call the police on himself.
Yeah, he reported himself naked. A New York City reverend who propositioned a female pastor to be his mistress sent her pictures of his junk and once said he wanted oral sex from the cute little pastor.
Wait, a pastor did this?
Yes. Reverend Charles Atkins Jr. allegedly helped to get Reverend Grace Nizamo Ma a job at Manhattan's French Evangelical Church of New York. and then held that over her head when he tried to ignite an affair with her. The case is still under investigation.
These are church people?
Yes, church people.
I'm appalled.
Yes, and then some.
Yeah.
There's a 21-year-old guy named Ray Persuade, and he was a student at the University of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota last year. And 3 different occasions, he called in fake bomb threats on the campus, but he hadn't done his homework. He used an app that blocks your phone number, but federal investigators were able to trace the numbers back to him eventually anyway. He just pled guilty to making false threats, and he'll be sentenced to a couple of years in jail for that one.
I'm sure and then some. He should
Yeah.
be. It was at St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yep, St.
Yeah.
Paul, Minnesota.
Yeah.
A 28-year-old married man from India recently made international news headlines for lying to his family about getting infected with the new coronavirus as an excuse to run away with his mistress. Manesh Mishra called his wife to say that he tested positive for COVID-19 and that he didn't want to live anymore. He then proceeded to shut off his phone, which caused the family to panic. His wife called her brother to help after receiving the bizarre call, and he advised her to file a missing persons report with the police. The investigation that followed showed that the 28-year-old supervisor had actually used the dreaded illness as a pretext to leave his family and elope with his mistress.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Using the COVID thing
Yep.
to get
Yep.
away.
Now, this may cause you to cringe a little here, Bonnie, this next story.
Uh-oh.
A factory in Vietnam has been busted for washing and recycling thousands of used condoms and then selling them onto unsuspecting customers.
Ooh.
All right, police.
Everybody's losing their eggs right now.
Yeah, police swooped on an apartment in the south of the country where they found 300,000 unlabeled and unpackaged condoms. The owner of the illicit facility, Pham Thai Than Nagik, said that she had washed and dried the condoms by hand before remolding them on a wooden phallus.
Was she wearing gloves?
I don't know. I didn't ask. Detectives say the woman received a weekly consignment of condoms from an unidentified person and were then repackaged.
What person can come up with 300,000 condoms?
I don't know, but there's an awful lot of sex going on somewhere.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's a lot of nookie.
Uh-huh. And reused. Come on.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. A 30-year-old Mexican man allegedly reported his own mother and aunt to authorities for kicking him out of the house because he didn't want to get a job and at least help with the chores. Last Wednesday, a 30-year-old man accused them of assault and harassment. The young man claimed that he was beaten out of the house by the 2 women who also threw water on him. What he failed to tell the authorities was that he'd been living at his mother's house for months free of charge without contributing to the family budget or even helping out with chores.
At 30, it's time to get a
30.
job, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
30 years
It's
old.
time to start lending a helping hand by now.
Lastly, there's a lot of stupid news this morning.
I guess so.
Lastly, this past Saturday afternoon, a 41-year-old guy named Larry Stuthers and a 31-year-old guy named Jason Rappa confronted a man in Largo, Florida, fought with the man, and stole his backpack. But that's not all. They also stole his prosthetic leg. The cops tracked them down about an hour later and charged them with strong armed robbery. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they enjoyed the poetry of that charge for that crime.
Yeah. Who can steal a guy's limb?
Yeah.
Fake artificial leg.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of people do that
I
sort
don't
of
know.
thing?
Poor guy didn't have a leg to stand on. What can I say?
I guess not.
No. And that's your stupid news.
He was going to eat at IHOP.
Yeah, that's your stupid news for Tuesday, October the 6th, 2020. And as we get away from stupid news, we get to real news. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by with the latest headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Though he is not completely recovered from the coronavirus, President Donald Trump left Walter Reed Medical Center Monday evening.
Over the past 24 hours, the president has continued to improve. He's met or exceeded all standard hospital discharge criteria. He'll receive another dose of remdesivir here today, and then we plan to get him home. It's been more than 72 hours since his last fever. Oxygen levels, including ambulatory saturations and his work of breathing, are all normal. Though he may not entirely be out of the woods yet, the team and I agree that all our evaluations, and most importantly, his clinical status, support the president's safe return home, where he'll be surrounded by world-class medical care 24/7.
One part of President Donald Trump's care for COVID-19 has been the use of a new antibody drug cocktail. That drug is now available in a local clinical trial. WPTV's John Shaman has details.
In recent weeks, Dr. Modi Ramgopal has seen his COVID-19 patient load drop from over 100 to about 20.
Wearing masks is such an important part of preventing the spread of COVID.
Now, the Fort Pierce infectious disease doctor is engaging in another potential game changer in the coronavirus fight. His office taking part in a clinical trial involving an experimental antibody cocktail by Regeneron, the same one President Donald Trump was given.
These are antibodies that are injected into our system that boost our immune system to fight the virus or to have activity against the virus.
It's in this room where technicians mix the antibody cocktail for the trial patients. Dr. Ramgopal says it can be used not just with hospitalized patients, but also for those who may have been exposed at home. At nearby Longwood Regional Medical Center, the hospital was one of the first in Florida to use remdesivir as a treatment option, the drug saving the life of a St. Lucie West Centennial High School student.
We've come a long way from that. You remember early on, we had no options. It was just supportive treatment for patients who came in with a viral syndrome.
Chief of Medicine, Dr. Michael Bakerman, says the president's care has generally followed what they would do.
We really would like to be aggressive early on rather than coming at the back end. So this treatment has followed generally appropriate principles.
With flu season approaching and COVID still here, Dr. Bakerman says get a flu shot and adds this advice: wear a mask, social distance, and wash your hands. In Fort Pierce, John Shaman, WPTV, News Channel 5.
An Indian River County teacher is helping to reshape how Black history is taught in schools across our state. WPTV's Sabera Rayford has the story.
Ataba Patterson has dozens of children.
I absolutely love what I do.
She's a literacy coach at Vero Beach Elementary for grades 3 through 5, but her career in education was sparked by one child in particular.
I actually got into education because of my son.
She saw a need for more diversity in the classroom.
I want to represent.
It was a good fit. In February, she was one of 3 teachers in the state to receive the Black History Excellence in Education Award by Governor Ron DeSantis.
And because of that award, I was asked to be a part of the task force.
Now, Ataba will be a part of the Florida Department of Education's African American History Task Force.
It's not just about putting stories or retelling events of people of color, Black people. We are retelling American history, and it may not always be pretty, but we have to know there's not just one side.
Does it put an extra weight on you being a Black woman in education?
I think that it has. Unintentionally, it does put another level of responsibility, I think, on teachers of color. We're having to defend things that we should not have to defend. We're having to have very difficult discussions.
She's hoping this task force will help.
So we want to tell the whole story, the good, bad, and the ugly, just so again. And if we know better, we definitely will do better.
Reporting in Indian River County, Sabera Rayford, WPTV News Channel 5.
Hurricane Delta is now a Category 2 storm in the Caribbean with top winds of 100 miles an hour. It's expected to move into the Gulf as a major hurricane tomorrow and make landfall by the end of the week somewhere between Louisiana and the Florida Panhandle. Lastly, SpaceX will try again this morning to launch another batch of Starlink internet satellites from Kennedy Space Center. Yesterday's attempt was grounded by weather. The Florida State Seminoles are turning from one Palm Beach County quarterback to another. Head coach Mike Norvell announced Monday that Jordan Travis would be the starter for Saturday night's game at number 5 Notre Dame. The announcement comes on the heels of Travis's performance in relief of surprise starter Tate Rodemaker last weekend. The Seminoles were trailing 14-0 before Travis stepped in and led the team on 5 straight touchdown drives in a 41-24 victory. Our news time is 7:48. Weather and traffic together next.
$7:49 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Yeah, all is quiet on the roads this morning. It's been really nice driving on US 1 and getting on your major highways. If you got to be there by 8:30, you should definitely get there on time. All well on the roadways right now for Martin St. Lucie County. There's your latest look at traffic. In Port St. Lucie, it's a clear sky and 79. And in Oakland, California, foggy and 55. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Happy Tuesday, my sunshine. Starting off the day in the upper 70s inland and low 80s towards the coast. Partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers for that morning drive. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits. Scattered showers on and off throughout the day and a few isolated storms. Breezy winds out of the east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy with some storms into the overnight hours, lows in the low 80s. Tomorrow, some morning showers, then clearing conditions throughout the afternoon. Highs tomorrow in the low 90s with heat index values in the triple digits. We'll stay breezy tomorrow with winds out of the southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Mainly dry through the end of the work week with low rain chances and more sunshine. I'm WPTV First Alert Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Do you have a suggestion for the show? Send us an email, WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. And now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
It's the year 2020, and I can't take much more. I wish I had my whole life back to the way that it was before. Relax, said the COVID nurse, and would you please cough into your sleep? We can swab you anytime you like, but you can never leave. Welcome to the hotel quarantine. Cover up your face. Cover up your face. Protect the human race. Locking it down at the hotel quarantine. Try and stay alive so we can all survive.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I sang that, by the way. That's why the applause was there. That was a little snippet from me live in concert, so I hope you like that.
That was you, Evan?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, that was very, very good.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I like
Well, this kid didn't think so. He thought it was funny.
how you changed your voice like that. That's
Well, what
very
can I say?
talented.
I can't take enough credit for that.
Oi!
It was actually a really good parody song. Anyway, moving right along, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, it's going to be our weekly visit with the Martin County Sheriff's Office. And from what I understand, okay, rumor has it, Sheriff Snyder's because he is taking, okay, well, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I can't say anything, but Captain John Budenseek's going to be here.
John Budenseek, and we've had him on the show before.
Many times. I met him just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Really super nice guy.
He sounds very nice when I hear him on air, and he always does like a really nice job of informing us too.
Well, he
when,
does
when
more
the
than a nice
sheriff's
job.
away.
He does a fantastic job.
He sure does.
Yeah, he really does. He's got his act together. Very well spoken. And of course, you never want to mess with the captain because the captain will steer your ship in the wrong way. You always want to be on the good side of the captain of the ship.
Yeah, you always want to be on his side. I don't know if you want to be on his left side or his right side, but either side, I'm sure it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I have not heard from Bill as marrying millions.
Yeah.
So I'm going to text him right now. I know it's a little early.
I sure hope we can all go to lunch with Bill and Brianna one time. Bill and Bree.
Yeah.
It would be fun to meet them and, join them down in maybe the Miami or Fort Lauderdale area. He would be like a pretty cool guy, pretty cool kind of dude to hang out with, I think.
Yeah, he's a very cool guy. He's very laid back. Super nice guy. And of course, you've seen him on the show, Bonnie, right?
Yeah. And, I was excited to hear when you told him, Evan, that you would want to go down there and meet him and buy him lunch.
Yeah, I'll buy him lunch.
Just
I have
because
no problem.
He's a millionaire. We
I
don't
don't expect it.
him to buy the lunch.
No, I want to take that initiative and show my hospitality.
Yeah.
We can go to a restaurant of his choice, wherever he wants to go, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter to me. It's just called being kind and courteous. That's
Maybe
all.
we'll go to a nightclub and I can borrow some of Bree's clothes.
I don't know. You'd have to check and get the sizes and make sure that that the clothes will be right. She may wear things out to nightclubs that are a little too scantily clad that you may not like.
Yeah, some of the clothes she wears, so like when she's home and hanging out with Bill, I think I saw her
She's in sweatshirts and
playing
stuff like
pool the other night. She always dresses pretty nice and pretty classy when they had that big party in the backyard, and I like her big bushy hair that she flies around.
Oh, she's got some really cool looking hair.
Pretty girl.
We have to step back here for a moment because we have to take care of a obligation. It's called the news. So we're going to let everybody know that we're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next, and then we will have hour number 3 of the Get Up and Go show right here on Martin County's Heritage Station, live from our palatial radio studios.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
8:07 on the Get Up and Go show with yours truly. That's right, Evan and Bonnie here from our palatial studios, and it's time for our weekly visit. Normally, Sheriff William Snyder's with us, but he is off tending to business. So Captain John Budenseek is going to be joining us on our line right now. Morning, Captain. How you doing?
I'm good.
First and foremost, it was a pleasure to meet you just a few short weeks ago at the memorial service for Trooper Bullock. That was a beautiful, beautiful service, I must say.
Thank you. We did our best. Obviously, if COVID was not a part of it, that would have been a much larger event. We actually had a hard time trying to keep it scaled back so we could keep people socially distant but at the same time still honor our Trooper Bullock and the sacrifice that he made.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. Everybody had a mask on. It was a strong, strong presence of FHP there as well to pay their respects. The trooper's family was there front and center. I think his dad was the one who got up and spoke, and then, of course, our Sheriff William Snyder got up and spoke, and after he got about 10 seconds in, he just ditched the scripted script and just went from the heart. And boy, you could definitely tell he spoke from the heart that morning.
I like it when he ad libs and goes for it. I enjoy that.
Yeah, it was really, really, really good. Good. I want to touch a little bit on, unfortunately, a double overdose death that happened last night under investigation. Let's chat a little bit about that, if you could, please.
Absolutely. So clearly, I have to say the obvious. We don't know definitively until there's an autopsy and a toxicology report. But it really does look like last night we had a double overdose in Hope Sound. Two young men, low 40s. We found both of them deceased, and around them was drug paraphernalia. And ironically enough, they also had Narcan there. Narcan is what you use or what we use to resuscitate people. So unfortunately, there's still this trend of people that are knowingly using drugs that they are very aware that's likely to cause them death, and they're still doing it.
Wow. That's ridiculous. That is completely ridiculous. Are you guys are obviously, trying to target all these sellers and distributors as well in Martin County, correct?
We are. Things have changed, though. The typical way drugs used to be dealt, and still are certain drugs, was you had a main supplier, and then the structure kind of trickled down from there, and then we would go after that main guy. What we're dealing with now is a lot of our people pool their money together. A lot of people that are users pull their money together, and they trip down to Palm Beach, and they pick up drugs, they come back up. So there's not that clear cut structure that we're used to dealing with. These are a lot of users. Users were people in the past that we tended to try to get help for, send them to rehab, arrest them for a low-level felony so they can get sent to rehab. But this is a different crowd. These are users, like I said, people that we wouldn't normally try to put in prison that are going down there and getting it and kind of spreading it around. And unfortunately, people are dying. I think we're at 32 deaths for the year so far.
Oh, my. So they're pooling their money together, and they give it all to one person. The one person drives down to Palm Beach, buys the drugs, and then he brings it back up here to Martin County, and then he distributes it to the said individuals that he took the money from.
They either do it that way, yes, or they all just go together and pick it up. A lot of times this is a daily routine for these heroin addicts to go every single day. They wake up, and the first thing they do is drive down to Palm Beach and buy their drugs.
Wow.
Major suppliers up here, we target them. We're pretty effective at targeting them and putting them in jail. So our guys know that. Palm Beach guys, they stay down there in the comfort and the security of a more liberal court structure and sell drugs really with very little repercussion.
Wow. So wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm understanding this right. So you're saying that at Palm Beach County, there's hardly any repercussion for this?
I am, yes. So Palm Beach County has a lot going on. Years ago, they waived the minimum mandatory sentences, which I know are a hot button issue right now with, trying to restructure sentencing. But Palm Beach County, there's so many drug dealers down there. These guys get very little to no time.
Gives me a better reason to
Wow.
be so happy that I live up here.
Well, you're right. That's why there's such a problem down there. But also the problem is their law enforcement are dealing with so many other problems. They don't have time to chase these
Right.
street-level drug dealers around down there.
Wow. That's just so disheartening to know that. I used to live in Palm Beach County, and I'm glad I live up here in St. Lucie County now. And I know that our sheriff has zero tolerance for that kind of crap also. And you'll get put in jail up in St. Lucie County and Martin County as well. But wow, that's just some startling news. I never knew that about Palm Beach County. Wow.
Mr. Budensek, our local police officers do they always carry this Narcan on hand, like a supply with them?
We do, and for your audience, Narcan is a drug essentially that reverses the effects that opium has on the body. It's very, very interesting to watch. Somebody can be.
Wow.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone can be near death, snoring, shallow breathing, like I said, near death, and you administer Narcan, which is like a nasal spray. And it's almost like a light switch. They go from being in that state of mind to wide awake, mad at you because they're no longer high. It's
Wow.
very, very, very weird to watch.
That's
pretty powerful.
That's weird.
powerful.
Yeah. And like when they're in that state, you said it's like a nasal spray. Are they with it enough to sniff it and, get the spray that is needed, or do you just kind of like squeeze it up their nose and force it anyway?
No, none of them are with it. They're out. Like I said, a lot of
They're
them
out
are
cold, Bonnie. Yeah, they're out
near
cold.
death. And we force it up in there, and then their nasal passages absorb it. It really is. We've saved a lot of lives. In fact, this year we've had 178 overdoses, not deaths, overdoses. Many of those people, either us or fire rescue, have been able to save by reversing the high that they're on. High. I mean, they're fixing to die. That's what they call it.
Yeah, I've seen like pictures of people in the past where like there would be like a guy and a woman, maybe at 5 or 6 in the morning, just like strung out, just so out of it in their cars. That's just kind of like the last place you really want to be. I mean, some of these images I've seen, they're just so haunting looking when somebody can be that out of it. And I guess it should not surprise me that once they do take the Narcan, they actually wake up and they're sort of mad that you ruined their high.
Yeah, they're ticked off because this is what they wanted to achieve, and now you've taken that achievement away from them, and you've saved their life. And they don't thank you for saving their life because they wanted that ultimate high.
Yeah, you don't know why they would want to be like that. They look like zombies.
That's why they're drug addicts.
Yeah.
Does not make sense. I know this is a huge conversation, and there's all kinds of opinions and reason why people are like that. But when somebody, a mother, chooses just to walk away from her family and live like that and end up being, unfortunately, a prostitute on the street, a lot of them end up that way. Yeah, there's something very strong in that drug, in that addiction, to make people act like that.
We should like, I know Martin County is great, and like even St. Lucie County, I'm hoping we should have like education in the schools, to show students that this is what you could become. Don't even get near it or go to that episode in the first place.
Our school resource officers do that. We had DARE, and we've replaced that with another.
Oh, boy, do I miss DARE. I was involved in DARE in Palm Beach County eons ago. Drug Awareness Resistance Education with the big, bright red letters in cursive on that right angle. I wore the DARE hat. I had the DARE bumper stickers. I was a huge advocate for that program.
Well, we have something similar, kind of recreated the same thing where they go to these kids, and we've been doing that for years. And there's still this trend of people that want to live on the edge. And what we see a lot of times is they don't intend to go out and be a heroin addict, but they go to a party, they drink alcohol, which lowers their inhibitions, and then somebody says, "Hey, why don't you try this?" And then they're off to the races.
Yep.
There's no coming back.
Yep. It's a sad thing, and it's kind of like I know we had been having problems in the area too with the prescription pills, and
Yes.
I've always been afraid of. I've been fortunate enough, not to have any back pain or to live with any pain, but I always have this fear of trying, any kind of a painkiller because I just
won't.
hear how addictive they are.
It's a personality thing. You're right. Like some people do it one time. I've talked to many people. They do it one time and then they can't stop. And then most people, go have a surgery, a legitimate surgery, and take their legitimate medication. Now, with time, you can become addicted whether you want to or not. If you've had a surgery and you have to be on medicine for a prolonged period of time, and that is something you worry about. I've had a family member that had a surgery, and one day I finally said, "Okay, we're done. You're officially off," and that worked. But it doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, each individual is going to be different with that.
It's a scary thing. I started off by lamenting the fact that these two that died last night knew they could die. We had one on January 1st, first day of the year, this year, up in Jensen Beach, where a person had passed from an overdose. Before law enforcement, before our guys got there, they cleaned the room and they hid some of the drugs that the person had overdosed on and died.
Oh.
And a few hours later, they themselves passed away.
Wow. That's
Same drug.
That's awful. That's awful. I want to switch gears here for a minute. We're in election season. It's political time. We're down to the wire, and sad to say that people are going around and taking signs from people's yards, and that's a big no-no, isn't it?
Someday we need to start a reality TV show called Sign Wars.
I mean, why not, Captain? We have storage wars. We have, sign wars. I'm going to look into that. Okay.
Well, I can tell you this. I've been a part of a lot of campaigns. Of course, I've helped the sheriff, and it's nonstop. Take signs down or put them up. Somebody takes them down. Somebody rips them down. It goes back and forth. It happens every election season. And people call and want the other side arrested. It's not always the other side, by the way.
Yeah.
In fact, there are some. Well, there's two different kinds of laws. The county has ordinance of where you can and can't put signs.
Right.
And if you put them on there right away or where you're not supposed to, they are legally allowed, and they do come through once a week or once every 2 weeks, and they clean them all out. So we get phone calls saying somebody stole our signs. Well, nobody stole our signs. The county came through and did their job, and they took them down, and they put them behind the county building where you can come collect your signs and put them back up in a legal fashion. So that's not illegal. It is, however, illegal to mess with, touch, deface, steal, obviously move political signs aren't yours if they're on private property or somewhere where they're legally allowed to be.
Listen, if you don't like your next door neighbor's Donald Trump sign or somebody else's sign in the yard, just leave the darn thing alone. It's not hurting you. It's not hurting your yard. It's a matter of opinion. They want to vote for Trump and you like Joe Biden. So you know what? Just go put a Joe Biden sign in your yard, for God's sakes, right?
Exactly. You said it as simply as it can be said, but unfortunately that's not how people feel in any election. I know this is a hotly contested election, but this is not new. This has been going on for years, and I'm going to venture to say next election cycle we'll be doing the same thing, having the same conversation.
You know what? I've been afraid of even putting something political or a bumper sticker on my vehicle.
Why?
I mean, have you ever gotten any calls where somebody has damaged someone's vehicle because of having something political on it?
Not that I can remember here in Martin County, but I, of course, have read about that and read about altercations because someone's wearing a hat that somebody else didn't like. So, like I said, not here that I know of.
You know what you could do, Bonnie? Instead of putting it on your bumper or sticking it on the outside of your window, get a piece of Scotch tape, put it in your back window.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me to stick it on my forehead.
No.
Okay.
Get a piece of Scotch tape and stick it in your back window with the Scotch tape. So this way, when the election season is over, or nobody can get at that sticker because it's on the inside of your vehicle.
I'm not
That's
worried.
better be
I'm
safe
not
than sorry.
worried about the sticker. I'm worried about my vehicle being
I don't think
damaged
nobody do any
because
damage.
because of somebody not, agreeing with my political beliefs.
No, that's why we have the
I
First
mean,
Amendment.
But that's why I asked if that sort of thing has ever happened. I mean, you just never know. People
you
are
heard
getting
it from the captain.
People are getting so frenzied and so crazy over this election.
Listen, the captain will watch your car 24/7 for you. Okay, that's all.
I wish we had the people to
I
do
know,
it.
right? Captain John Budenseek, always a pleasure to have you on the program. Please give our best to the sheriff, if you would.
Yes.
And tell him we miss him, and tell him to kiss them grandbabies as well.
I shall. Thank you for
All
your time.
right. It's always our pleasure. We'll talk to you soon, Captain. All right, bye-bye. It is 8:23 right now. It's news time once again. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning. Floridians are already casting their ballots in the November election.
Over the past 20
well over already been returned because of the coronavirus and all the hype surrounding the election. The request for mail-in ballots has set a record at nearly 4.8 million. Of the 570,000 ballots already returned, 300 registered Democrats, 157,000 from Republicans, another 100,000 had no political affiliation. All mail-in ballots must be submitted by, not postmarked, submitted by November 3rd. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden is reminding Floridians to get out to the polls.
Figure out exactly where you're going to vote, exactly how you're going to vote. And one more thing, do what my grandfather used to say up in Scranton, find the 5 people you're going to bring along to vote.
Biden campaigned yesterday in Miami. Several homes were evacuated Monday night after a resident found an old ordinance on a beach in Indian River County. WPTV's Michael Williams has this.
Evacuations in Vero Beach after an old military munition was discovered. That munition found on the beach behind the Ocean Ridge community. Indian River County fire crews and the sheriff's office first responded when someone walking the beach saw the old explosive. They also brought in members of the military from Patrick Air Force Base to help decide how to dispose of it and determine whether it is indeed still active.
Well, Vero Beach being on the location and being a former base years ago in the early 40s and prior for World War II, this is somewhat common here. We see this has happened, several times a year. Something's found on the beach or floats up on the beach. It's from old training ordinances and things like that they did when they were training to pre-World War II.
At least one homeowner opted to stay, telling our crew they've been through this at least 6 or 7 times over the years.
It's been more than 2 years since CASEL, the Regional Child Abuse Prevention Agency, did not renew its contract with longtime Executive Director Teresa Gabriel, ending a 40-year program designed to help children and families in Indian River, Martin, and Okeechobee counties. But a new organization has sprung up with a similar mission to child abuse service teaming and life enrichment, and run by CASEL's former executive director, Chris Robertson. Hope Lives Foundation began operations October 1st. It will distribute annual grants to small nonprofit agencies servicing children and families in the 4-county area. Robertson said it has one office location, and that is at St. Lucie West. It's at 546 Northwest University Boulevard in Port St. Lucie. And lastly, SpaceX will try again this morning to launch another batch of Starlink internet, that is satellites from Kennedy Space Center. Yesterday's attempt was grounded by weather. And in the NFL from last night, Green Bay beats the Atlanta 16. The Chiefs upset New England 26-10. And in Lenny's Pick'em League, we just want to congratulate the top people that are making the picks each and every week. We have Chief Pick'em Good on top Big Mike, followed by Roxy Steelers in third place. Thanks for making your picks. My picks were awesome yesterday. I have come out of the week with 11 chosen right. So I, as the Packer backer, climbed from 37 all the way back up to 23. I'm really proud of that. Thanks for playing Lenny's Pick'em League. And our news time is 8:27. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
Eight 28 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. It's all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Quiet, clear, dry morning. The morning has been great if you're traveling. No accidents from our major highways, this including Martin County and St. Lucie County. Everything good right now. There's your latest look at traffic. In Palm City, a sunny sky, and it's 82. In Hibbing, Minnesota this morning, a cool 47. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Happy Tuesday, my sunshine, starting off the day in the upper 70s inland and low 80s towards the partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers for that morning drive. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s, feels like temperatures in the triple digits. Scattered showers on and off throughout the day and a few isolated storms, breezy winds out of the east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy with some storms into the overnight hours, lows in the low 80s. Tomorrow, some morning showers, then clearing conditions throughout the afternoon. Highs tomorrow in the low 90s with heat index values in the triple digits. We'll stay breezy tomorrow with winds out of the southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Mainly dry through the end of the work week with low rain chances and more sunshine. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
8:33 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie, and it's time to head out to outer space where Randy Siegel is standing by, giving us an update on what's happening for all the Trekkies out there, so to speak. What's happening, Randy?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Back in 1990, that's when NASA launched its STS-41 mission with the space shuttle that carried the Ulysses spacecraft in its belly. Ulysses is part of the International Solar Polar Mission, and that vehicle was released in orbit and now is giving great data on our sun. And in 1992, the U.S. and Russia signed an agreement to share astronauts and cosmonauts into the future. And lastly, on this date in history, in 2008, the Discovery messenger spacecraft passed by Mercury one more time at a distance of only 120 miles. Data. Yep, they did it again this morning at 7:31. SpaceX launched its 9 rocket, placing into orbit 60 new Starlink satellites, and then landing that first stage, 8 launch on the drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, right smack in the middle of where it needed to go, which made Elon Musk very happy because Musk had traveled to the Space Center because of all the delays with his Falcon rockets. There's still one more Falcon rocket sitting on a launch pad, and that launch could take place in the next several days. Up on the International Space Station, the astronauts still have not been able to find that little leak. They know that the air is leaking just a little bit at a time, and they're trying to locate it. They've even tried using a stethoscope to try to figure out where the leak is coming from. However, due to the interference of a pump making loud noises on the station, they're unable to do so, so they're standing down looking for that leak. The astronauts, however, have spent a lot of time unloading that Cygnus vehicle that docked the other day to the International Space Station, or should I say berthed to the International Space Station. The crew entered wearing goggles and masks to protect against potential dust and debris. This seems to be a normal occurrence when they open up one of the Cygnus vehicles at the space station. The Cygnus also carries a new toilet, which the astronauts will be happy to install because it will give them better choices for their facilities. The astronauts, Wagner and Ivanushin, spent a lot of time doing medical tests while wearing a lower body negative pressure suit. The special suit pulls the blood down from the head to the feet, so they don't have the problem called puffy face, which is caused for the pressure that builds up in the head and causes astronauts to have vision problems as well as headaches. But as we said, the biggie was that launch taking place. Next on the line for SpaceX will be a Falcon 9 launch of a global positioning satellite. They have not definitively set a target date for that launch, but it appears that it won't be too far down the road. Elon Musk is also trying to buy up all of the homes on a small swath of land called Boca Chica Village. That's adjacent to SpaceX facility that they have for their Starship. They want to have their own facilities there, and they don't want to share it with the residents. They want to build out their own hotel, etc. They've made offers for all of the homes, but some of them are saying, not enough money. the SpaceX company is offering roughly 3 times the appraised value of their homes, or $150,000. Some of the people have taken the money, but many of them say, no, we're going to hold out until you give us a much better price. There now is a new board chairwoman on the Commercial Space Federation. Her initial priorities are to find a new president for the organization and dealing with a range of regulatory issues affecting the organization companies. Members have selected Audrey Powers, Vice President of Legal and Compliance at Blue Origins, as the new chairwoman. She succeeds Tabor McClellan, the co-founder of Space Perspective, who completed his 2-year term. The whole idea of this new venture here is to allow more tourists to be able to go into space in order to have the countries reap more benefits. A Colorado startup company, ExoTerra Resources, announced a NASA Small Business Innovation Research contract. They will develop a solar electric upper stage to boost small satellites traveling on Virgin Orbit's Launcher 1 beyond low Earth orbit. They say that they can send payloads that are relatively small into space at a relatively low price. A recent piece that was published in Space News noted that NASA has signed an agreement with Italy that the country will participate in the Artemis Return to the Moon program. The details of that participation have not been formalized, but they suggest that Italy will invest €1 billion in the undertaking. Italy will now join Japan, Australia, Canada, and the European Union in what is shaping up to be a NASA-led Artemis Alliance to return humans to the moon for the first time since 1972, and to build a lunar base camp. Israel has turned over a spy satellite to the Israeli Defense Force. The satellite has been in orbit now for about 6 months, and they are confident that it is now operational, so they have turned it over to the Defense Force. Russia would like to build a new space station that would accommodate at least 4 tourists. The new space station would consist of 5 modules at least, including a separate compartment for the tourists, along with portholes allowing them to view the Earth, as well as Wi-Fi. This is according to Vladimir Solovov, the first deputy general designer of RCS Energia. The station will be similar in construction to the Mir space station, which was in operation from 1986 to 2001. The planned modules would go into orbit using an Angara A5 launch vehicle from the Pses Cosmodrome or the Vazhny Space Center in eastern Russia. Nothing has been assigned yet, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens. NASA is concerned about the Boeing company and their software glitches. There seems to be a concern for the Space Launch System, Artemis 1, Artemis 2, and Artemis 3. You may recall that Boeing had software glitches in their Starliner spacecraft that was tested, and now will be retested again, hopefully before the end of the year. The question is it a systemic problem with Boeing, and can they straighten it out? Tomorrow we're going to tell you about Japan getting ready to launch a new satellite and a California judge not happy with SpaceX. So until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody.
That's Randy Siegel with the latest greatest space report. He appears on the program Monday through Friday at 8:30. Time to head on over to Ellie's Downtown Deli. Bonnie's standing by with the latest and greatest to soothe your appetite.
Oh, you know what? You want to just make your mouth feel incredibly good. Your appetite will be craving this one. It's a smoked pulled pork melt, toasty panini. Now, this pork is slow roasted in-house with a Thai chili barbecue sauce, and added will be sauteed onions, garlic, mayo, pepper jack cheese, and pressed on a brioche bun. And you can enjoy homemade desserts. Order desserts like melt-in-your-mouth chocolate chip cookies. Chef Mark will make a chocolate chip cookie bigger than your head. Yes, this cookie is the size of your head. You can take some key lime pie home or some Oreo pie. The kids would love that Oreo pie for dessert tonight. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart now has their patio back open, plus dining inside with a full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's has full dinners available for takeout, plus their fabulous desserts as well. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up today. They're at 18 Southeast 6th Street. They're just off Colorado in Stewart. Call 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart.
Time for the Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold opening up at $1,914.10 an ounce, and silver opening up at $24.17 an ounce. That's the latest Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. News time once again, 8:45. Let's go to the news desk. Here's Bonnie.
Former Vice President Joe Biden says he has no plans to defund police departments. During an NBC News town hall in Miami last night, a woman with a son and husband in law enforcement wanted to know Biden's plan for police reform.
I'm going to bring all these interests together. Peaceful protesters, police chiefs, police officers, the police unions, as well as the civil rights groups in the White House, and sit down and decide what are the things that need to be done to improve and help police officers.
Earlier in the day, Biden campaigned in Miami's Little Haiti and Little Havana sections. One part of President Donald Trump's care for COVID-19 has been the use of a new antibody drug cocktail. That drug is now available in a local clinical trial. WPTV's John Shaman has details.
In recent weeks, Dr. Modi Ramgopal has seen his COVID-19 patient load drop from over 100 to about 20.
Wearing masks is such an important part of preventing the spread of COVID.
Now, the Fort Pierce doctor is engaging in another potential game changer in the coronavirus fight. His office taking part in a clinical trial involving an experimental antibody cocktail by Regeneron, the same one President Donald Trump was given.
These are antibodies that are injected into our system that boost our immune system to fight the virus or to have activity against the virus.
It's in this room where technicians mix the antibody cocktail for the trial patients.
Dr. Ramgopal says it can be used not just with hospitalized patients, but also for those who may have been exposed at home. At nearby Longwood Regional Medical Center, the hospital was one of the first in Florida to use remdesivir as a treatment option, the drug saving the life of a St. Lucie West Centennial High School student.
We've come a long way from that. You remember early on, we had no options. It was supportive treatment for patients who came in with a viral syndrome.
Chief of Medicine, Dr. Michael Bakerman, says the president's care has generally followed what they would do.
We really would like to be aggressive early on at the back end. So this treatment has followed generally appropriate principles.
With flu season approaching and COVID still here, Dr. Bakerman says get a flu shot and adds this advice: wear a mask, social distance, and wash your hands. In Fort Pierce, John Shaman, WPTV, News Channel 5.
An Indian River County teacher is helping to reshape how Black history is taught in schools across our state. WPTV's Sabira Rayford has the story.
Ataba Patterson has dozens of children.
I absolutely love what I do.
She's a literacy at Vero Beach Elementary for grades 3 through 5, but her career in education was sparked by one child in particular.
I actually got into education because of my son.
She saw a need for more diversity in the classroom.
I want to represent.
It was a good fit. In February, she was one of 3 teachers in the state to receive the Black History Excellence in Education Award by Governor Ron DeSantis.
And because of that award, I was asked to be a part of the task force.
Now, Ataba will be a part of the Florida Department of Education's African American History Task Force.
It's not just about putting stories or retelling events of people of color, Black people. We are retelling American history. It's always pretty, but we have to know there's not just one side.
Does it put an extra weight on you being a Black woman in education?
I think that it has. Unintentionally, it does put another level of responsibility, I think, on teachers of color. We're having to defend things that we should not have to defend. We're having to have very difficult discussions.
She's hoping this task force will help.
So we want to tell the whole story, the good, bad, and the ugly, just so, again, there's balance. And if we know better, we definitely will do better.
Reporting in Indian River County, Sabir Raper, WPTV News Channel 5.
So the NBA Lakers will play the Miami Heat tonight. Game 4 airs tonight in that series. And you can hear that game at 9, hear that game at 1590 WPSL and right here on AM 1450 WSTU. Our news time is 8:49. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
$8:51 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
The whole morning has been nice and quiet on our roadways, and it's remaining that way as you're traveling over the Roosevelt Bridge. US 1 this morning is looking fine. All our roads, the major highways throughout Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, the Stewart, Palm City area right now, roads are looking good. And there's your latest look at traffic. And we have 81 in Port St. Lucie, and this morning in Zermatt, Switzerland, it's a cloudy 45. Here's our forecast from WPTV meteorologist.
Happy Tuesday, my sunshine, starting off the day in the upper 70s inland and low 80s towards the coast. Partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers for that morning drive. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s, feels like temperatures in the triple digits. Scattered showers on and off throughout the day and a few isolated storms, breezy winds out of the east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy with some storms into the overnight hours, lows in the low 80s. Tomorrow, some morning showers, then clearing conditions throughout the afternoon. Highs tomorrow in the low 90s with heat index values in the triple digits. We'll stay breezy tomorrow with 10 to 20 miles per hour. Mainly dry through the end of the work week with low rain chances and more sunshine. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
When it's time to fly, fly with the new airline that keeps the cabin clean, the service top-notch, and the troublemakers off the flight. It's Pleasantville Airlines. You'll enjoy our dress code, shirts and slacks for guys and dresses for girls and ladies. Oh, and shoes. Not flip-flops, sandals, or tennis shoes. Shoes. With our electronic tickets, we'll know when you arrive in the gate area, so no need for your stupid questions. We'll make announcements. Get the AirPods out of your ears and pay attention. No mask, no problem, no debate. Just wait off to the side. Keep waiting because you're not getting on. Your strong personal stance just got you grounded. And one carry-on item per person means you get to carry on one item. If that's your laptop, that's your one. A purse, that's your one. Got a special story of why you should get special treatment? We don't care. Neither does anyone on board. So there's no misunderstandings. We have you agree to all terms when you buy your ticket online. And remember, no refunds, which won't be a problem. Unless you are. Pleasantville Airlines, flying the way it used to be. Civilized.
I'd like to try that airline, Bonnie.
Yeah, and I like the name of it because it's Pleasantville.
Yeah, Pleasantville.
Makes you feel really good.
Speaking of Phil is on the line with us right now. Hey, Phil.
Oh, Pleasantville.
They call me.
Yeah, what's going on? That's what they call you, Phil. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good.
So we're going to be graced with your presence tomorrow in studio.
Yes.
And Bonnie just broke some news to me. But I have breaking news too that I just found out that this Friday on the program, okay, Bill from Marrying Millions, his girlfriend Bree, the 22-year-old, is going to be our special guest in the 8 o'clock hour this Friday on the show. I just got a text from Bill and he just confirmed it. So we're going to be interviewing the 22-year-old and find out what she sees in the 62-year-old. That's going to be real interesting.
I have a feeling, though, that, you know, from what I get from watching Bree and Bill, I don't think she's all about the money.
No.
I don't get that feeling when I see them
she's
together.
not a gold digger. She is by far the least person that you would ever think is a gold digger. But speaking of not gold diggers, Phil, I want to talk to you for a moment. Tomorrow, you're bringing in the Jelly Bellies, correct?
Yeah, the jelly beans are called Bean Boozled.
Bean Boozled.
Yes, and they have different flavors. And now you can either get the pleasant flavor in the random tasting, or you get the not so pleasant flavor.
Okay,
in the
so
taste.
here's the thing now. Bonnie has just informed me 4 minutes ago that she's having second thoughts about tasting the beans.
Why?
Because I'm afraid about getting that offer of flavor, and maybe it's going to make me, it's feeling a little bit nauseating, kind of thinking about it already.
Bring a beverage in with you tomorrow so you have something to wash it down.
Oh,
Do I need to bring you a coffee tomorrow?
Yeah, black.
Black.
Bring her coffee and bring me a Coke Classic. But yeah, you know what I like. But bring something though, Bonnie, that from home. Okay, if Phil's going to bring you a black coffee, then take that mug right there and put something cold in it that you like to drink,
Maybe
like
a 7-Up or
a 7-Up
something.
or a Sprite or whatever.
Ginger ale.
Yeah,
might
so this
do.
way, if you don't like what you bite into, you can just like wash it down,
Or
or
just
I'll
spit
even
it
have
out.
I'll even have an Earl bucket over on that side for you, just in case you want to spit out.
Yeah, but when we're seeing on Facebook and everything, that's the last thing I want to do is like look like the Exorcist or something
Oh.
when she spits all that pea soup all over the
Listen,
bed.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
If people can watch you with your forehead beating a mouse on a countertop, they can certainly tolerate you eating bamboozled jelly beans.
Yeah.
Well, I have
Without a
to.
doubt.
I gotta give a beverage really cool so it can look like I'm barfing something out cool, like
How
the
about a
color,
Surge?
the color purple or
How about
something.
Surge or Mountain Dew? That'll work.
Oh yeah, that would be good. Maybe
Right?
maybe Mountain Dew and vodka. I'll get some voodoo.
Okay. I'll pick up a little flask of vodka today.
Oh, I would pay big money to have a drop.
You know what? If you bring the Mountain Dew, I'll bring the little 1 ounce bottle of vodka.
Oh,
That's a deal.
Yeah, but you can't do it when you're on air. It's
Shh, don't
just-
tell anybody our secret, okay? Hey, Phil, thanks for calling, and we got to run, buddy.
No
We'll see you in
problem. Talk to
studio
y'all later.
tomorrow. All right, bye-bye. Yeah, I won't tell anybody. when you run to go get your newspaper in the morning, I'll just dump the vodka in your glass. Nobody will know.
I have to take my Mountain Dew with me
All right.
then.
All right.
He's spiking
All right.
my stuff.
Hey, we're out of here. Chow mein.
Honduras.
And Arriva Dirty. Have a great day, folks. Be kind to one another.
And enjoy the nice dry weather. Get out to the beach if you
That's
can.
right. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Bye-bye.